No, stop the music, stop the music. Look, I was gonna do some skit with me being Superman or something, obviously, and it was gonna be really funny. Maybe that Tails doll would come back and I'd defeat it with heat vision or something, I don't know, but I'm not doing that anymore. I've decided I'm not doing that anymore. This game is really not worth the effort. I mean, if the game developers didn't put any effort, then why should I have to? So, that's it. No superhero stuff. Let's just get on with the review. Episode 64, Superman 64. Actually, it's just called Superman, but everybody's labeled it as Superman 64, rightfully so that's what I'm going to be calling it. So, Superman 64, a game based on... Well, if you don't know what superhero it's about, then you're probably brain dead, so explaining it probably wouldn't help. Released in 1999 for the Nintendo 64, this game is often referred to as one of the worst games ever made. Okay, look, it's just bad. Terribly designed, glitchy as all hell, and like I've mentioned before, it seems like little to no effort was put into it. That's not necessarily the case, that's just the way it seems, because, you know, it's bad. This is actually the first time I've ever played this, so, I mean, maybe it's not that bad. I mean, I'm sure it can't be as bad as everyone said. I mean, nope, can't keep that up. Can't keep up the positivity. Let's just start. The game starts with the most vanilla and forgettable music score for any superhero video game I've ever played. But hey, I guess it beats the in-game soundtrack. So apparently the plot of this game is that Superman and his friends are trapped in a virtual world created by Lex Luthor and Brainiac. So basically, Superman is trapped inside of an awful video game. And here we are, flying through rings. You fly through rings, with Superman flailing his arms around like he can't keep his balance or something. I'm gonna be honest, I was expecting worse from these initial ring levels. I mean, this isn't good, it's not fun, but I was expecting the flying controls to be absolutely horrendous, or at least extremely oversensitive or something. But honestly, I find these ring segments rather easy. At least when compared to the rest of this goddamn game, but we'll get to that soon. But yeah, as long as you ease up on the acceleration here and there, these ring levels really aren't that bad. Well, okay, they still are for several reasons, but they're not the worst. It's just probably not the best way to start the game. And there are way too many of these ring levels. Missing a ring is the most annoying part. Sure, you can miss a few of them before it's game over and you have to start the level over again, but it's still extremely annoying to swing around and try to hit a ring that you missed. The graphics are so bland and empty that honestly it can sometimes just be flat out disorienting. I don't have very good, spatial awareness. I think that's what it's called. Oh, and making it to the end of a level and then missing the final ring is just pure frustration. And it happens to me a lot, actually. Sometimes I have enough time left to swing around and hit it, but other times, no. Start over. And when you get through a ring level, which by the way can be very long, they can sometimes be like 8 minutes, they went way overboard. But yeah, once you get through it, you're greeted with some instructions that flash by so quick that you don't even have nearly enough time to read them, and you're immediately given a time limit. This can really catch you off guard, and if you fail at whatever mission it is, then it's back to the ring level. Whoopee. Luckily, even though I couldn't read the instructions fast enough, everything around me is really flat and barren, except for these 2 cars. So I just assumed that it had something to do with the cars. So I picked them up, I threw them, and I'm done. And my reward? More rings! Yes! This becomes a pretty apparent pattern after a while. Ring level, annoying mission level, rinse and repeat. Truly, this is what Superman is all about. He's faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, and able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Alright, I reached yet another random mission. In this one it tells me to blow away the tornadoes. Okay, well it tells me to do this, but it doesn't tell me how. How the hell do I, quote, use my superpowers? I can't figure it out. Oh, and I ran out of time apparently. I lose. Cool. I'm so happy I get to fly through the rings again. It's kinda weird for a game to reward you for losing, but I just love flying through these rings so much, so I'm not complaining. Well, I guess this is what instruction manuals are for. Let's see. Okay, so the C buttons all do different things, none of which I would logically think would help in this situation. Maybe ice breath, since it's telling me to blow the tornadoes away and it's breath, so sure, why not? But wait, it doesn't do anything. Come on, I'm pressing the button, but it's not visibly doing anything. And now I have to do the ring segment again. Look, all joking aside, I don't find these levels too hard, but they're still not fun to play over and over again. Alright, well, let's give this yet another shot. There's a weird symbol here that I almost missed, but what does it do? Oh, it's the symbol for the super breath. Okay, so I must have to activate this somehow. Is it a button? Oh, okay, so you have to touch it. It's like a power-up. Okay, so now— No! There isn't even a timer for this section. It just randomly ends. I guess it's when the tornadoes reach the people, but still, why not give me a timer? Well, at least I don't have to fly through the rings again. After completing the ring sections a certain number of times, I think it was 4, you don't have to do it again. Running out of time will just bring you back here, which I am eternally grateful for. Okay, so I got the power-up, and now I can use my ice breath, even though the manual said that it was for super breath. Apparently they couldn't settle on a name, but whatever. I'm sure that they had their totally legitimate reasons for confusing me. Alright, so it does not have very much range at all, and I can only activate it when I'm not moving, so I can only pull this part off once I figured out that the R button is a brake, which they don't even tell you in the instruction booklet, by the way. Whatever, not gonna get angry. More rings, more random missions. This is really starting to get boring. As if it wasn't already boring before. Wait, I won? I did it? Oh my god, a save point! And now the gameplay finally switches things up. I'm inside some sort of underground complex, and I have to find and disarm a bunch of bombs to save Metropolis. And wow. Okay, so everyone always complains about the flying controls, but I think that's probably just because most people that have played this game have only played the beginning, because these on-ground segments are far worse. Walking around feels just plain awful. First of all, it uses tank-like controls, which I already find annoying, but on top of that, Superman jerks around so much that it seems straight up glitchy. You move pretty slowly, turning around is really hard, sometimes the camera messes up your controls even more, or sometimes gets stuck and stops following you. You can sometimes get hung up on stuff and stop moving in your tracks. It just feels unfinished. And the combat is just terrible. It is laughably bad. Nothing in these levels is intuitive. Where do I go? What do I do? I found this key card and it said that all side doors are now unlocked. But what the hell's a side door? Is this a side door? It was right next to the key card that I found. But no, it's not a side door. It's still locked. But whatever, I fumble around, dying multiple times and glitching out around every corner until I finally find these workers that I was apparently supposed to save. They give me a code, so I have to go all the way back to where I started to use it on the computer, and oh god, this woman is beating the crap out of me. This game makes Superman look so pathetic. Not because a woman is beating him up, but because he's freaking Superman and she's beating him up. Alright, finally, after so much flying around randomly, I figure everything out. I figure out how to get through this entire level. Kill the enemies, backtrack, fly around, collect stuff, kill enemies, save people, backtrack, fly around, freeze bomb, die, start over, kill enemies, backtrack, fly around, collect stuff, kill enemies, save people, backtrack, fly around, freeze bomb, run out of freezing power, find more, fly around, freeze bomb, I'm done! I get to save my game again. And oh, thank God we're back to the rings again. I'm not even being sarcastic. I'm so happy that I'm back to mindlessly flying through these rings. I don't really have much to say about these ring levels anymore, so I guess I'll take this time to mention the graphics and music. Visually, this game is a friggin' travesty. N64 games can look so much better than this. Even early 64 games look better than this. And this game came out like 2 years into its life. The draw distance is bad, but it gets even worse with the color scheme that they chose. They couldn't have made the foggy background gray so that it looked like mist, or blue so that it looked like the sky. They had to make it this ugly, gross shade of green. It looks awful. Oh yeah, and those black bars on the top and bottom of the screen, that wasn't me that put those there. Those are there by default. I left them there because, well, apparently the game makers thought that it was really necessary to block out the top and bottom of the screen just to make this game seem a bit more cinematic. But I guess I'll turn it off now. I think you can do that from the pause menu. There we go. That's much better. The music is really boring and just unpleasant to listen to. Very short loops. Or sometimes technically not short loops, but still composed to sound like short loops. This is the kind of game where I honestly couldn't even tell you if the music changed at all between levels. It all sounds the same to me. Insanely forgettable. And right when you think that this game can't possibly get any worse, it gets worse. God, these levels are awful. I can't even begin to explain how unpleasant the controls are. There's basically no way to avoid getting shot by enemies most of the time, at least as far as I can tell. You have this blocking move, but it never really seems to do anything. I lose. Start over. I lose. Start over. Alright, I reached a puzzle of some sort. Okay, look, I'm not the smartest guy around, but even though this puzzle seems pretty obtuse and nonsensical, I could probably figure it out with enough time. But I now have a time limit. And also, the controls suck. Merely walking over to one of these computers and standing in front of it to activate it is hard. That's how awful the movement is. And I glitched through the floor. I fell through the floor, and in this section I can't fly, so I can't even try to fly back up and glitch back into the level proper. And then the game froze. The timer stopped. And I can't even pause the game now, so I can't restart. I have to get up and manually reboot the system. And I don't even think that this is a hardware glitch. I don't think that the cartridge is messing up or anything because the music is still playing. So yeah, this is the game. Superman. Oh, and how did I perform this game-breaking glitch? I had the audacity to walk through a doorway. How dare I walk into a room? I deserve this. Alright, well, I played through the level again, and this time I figured out this stupid nonsense puzzle by clicking things until I get it right. And I got it. Alright, so let's get out of here. No, it happened again! I'm not staging this! I fell through the floor, again! In the same spot! I wasn't trying to do this! Okay, playing through the level again! And now the elevator won't work. I've killed all the enemies, I grabbed the code, I've done everything exactly like I have 3 damn times already. It's just another glitch. A random glitch. I don't want to play the level again, come on. This is one of the worst games I've ever played. This is Bubsy 3D territory. And despite the costume I'm wearing, I'm honestly not the biggest Superman fan, personally. But even I realize his historic importance. Being basically the first superhero, he's an icon. So it really is a shame that this is probably his most well-known video game. Da 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 da. And once again, back to the rings. Oh boy. In a way I'm happy, but then I get sad that I'm happy because I'm happy because of the freaking rings. I shouldn't be happy to play these awful levels. You know, I'm getting to the point in this video where I should probably start wrapping things up, but there are honestly still so many things in this game to talk about. So many stupid parts where something dumb happens and I just want to talk about it. So you know what? I'm just going to quickly list off a bunch of those parts, a bunch of problems that I have with this game, specific ones. Just bullet point through them, save us some time. You know it's bad when I have to do this. glitched out during a ring level and flew halfway across the map. I killed all the enemies in this mission, but then nothing happened. Flew around a bit, and then it suddenly went to the next level, randomly. Tells me to defeat all the enemies, but there's no compass or map telling me where they are, so I have to search and just hope that I find them in time. The mission is to clear the way for the 2 cars, but they didn't even give me enough time to reach the damn cars, let alone figure out what I'm supposed to do and then do it. There's a spot where you can't fit through the space between these 2 buildings. I had to land down and then awkwardly jump to get through it, and then fly back up and then turn around to get the ring that I missed. Did nobody test this game? I'm supposed to protect this man, but then I froze in the air, and then I slowly started floating up into the sky, and no buttons do anything. So obviously I lost. Once again, did nobody test this game? And lastly, after playing through this level for some time, I saved Lois, she walks away, and then immediately gets captured again. And I'm talking literally immediately, like right when she walked off screen. That's honestly kind of a talent at that point. But just look at how she's standing there. She doesn't even look very concerned. Help, help, you have to save me now, or whatever. Okay, I think I'm done. I literally can't play this crap anymore. This game follows a pattern. Bad flying levels mixed in with random glitchy and badly designed missions. Then you enter a building of some kind and have to deal with combat, puzzle solving, and a lot of boring, confusing exploration. Rinse and repeat. I don't think I'm missing out on much by not playing anymore. I don't think this game is gonna get any better. Hell, I'm not even sure if this game's gonna get much worse. I think it's probably plateaued. But you know what? I've played through about half of this game already, and I kind of want to see the ending. So I'm gonna input a level select code and just skip to the last level. It's true, I won't be able to say that I beat Superman 64 since I skipped through a couple of levels, but you know what? I don't think that was much of a badge of honor anyway. The level select code allows me to skip up to level 12. So after more awful ring levels and all that, you know the drill by now, I reached the subway. This level was actually extremely difficult, until I realized that despite the game obviously implying that the goal was to kill all the enemies, all I actually had to do was fly up and down the subway tunnel a few times. Literally, that's it. And wait, what? That wasn't the end? Oh god, so apparently the subway is the final level when you're playing on normal mode. If you want the real ending to the game, then you have to play on hard mode, or I guess it's called Superman mode. Fine, I'll switch to hard mode and then I'll beat it. I mean, I just have to know how it ends. I'm sure it's totally worth all the trouble. From what I can tell, the difference between these 2 modes is... okay, I didn't really notice much of a difference at all, honestly. My compass is gone on the ring levels, and the enemies seem to take more hits to kill. But whatever, we're almost done. Just one more incredibly long, tedious, difficult, and completely terrible level left. Not really much to say about this level for the most part, honestly. Every complaint that I've had up until this point stands. Times 10. After playing through this level for literally an hour, I reach a segment where I step out of a teleporter with full health. And immediately, and I do mean immediately, I am killed. Literally, I couldn't avoid dying. I was at full health, and I died immediately when stepping out of a teleporter. Literally, could not avoid that. And that was an hour into this final level, and I have to redo all of it. So I did! I beat the game. I don't have to talk about it anymore. I am done. There was no super cool final boss. Hell, there wasn't even a lame final boss. There was nothing. It just ended. It's just more terrible level design and whatever. I'm done. What's my damn ending? This better be freaking worth it. So I saved my friends, but the real Lex Luthor is still out there, since I've just been in a virtual world this whole time. So basically, the final bit of plot is the game telling you that nothing you did mattered. Not only was it one of the most unpleasant and awful games of all time, but it ends the game basically telling you that you wasted your time. I mean, I guess I saved my friends, but it wasn't worth it. I'm not even joking. I regret playing this game. This is among the worst games I've ever reviewed. God damn it. Oh my god, this was bad. This game is just a complete train wreck. It fails in every way. It's ugly as all hell, has terrible music, it's completely glitchy and terribly designed, and there are even more flaws that I don't have the time to mention in detail. Plenty of examples of awful level design, bad controls, and overall just awfulness. Everything sucks, but I would be here for a very long time trying to explain it all anymore. But I think you all get it. This game is terrible. It's just blatantly unfinished. Maybe not to the level of something like Big Rigs, but unfinished nonetheless. It's just a terrible game, and it is well worth the title of one of the worst video games ever, especially since it's based on such a historic icon. So if you excuse me... There, it is done. Wait, there's a multiplayer mode? Superman 64 has a multiplayer mode? It sucks. That's pretty much all there is to say about it. Just look at it. There's two modes, fight and race. In the fight mode, it took us forever just to find each other in the damn level. And even when we did, it was a complete mess trying to fight each other. And the race? Makes no goddamn sense at all. Bunch of random rings that mean absolutely nothing. It's not even a race. We just ended up killing each other again. Oh, and there's no music. At all. No music in the multiplayer mode. Just the amazing sound effects. Makes it even more boring than it already was. Most people I don't even think are aware of this mode's existence. It only appears as an option when you have more than one controller plugged in. But, I mean, it's bad. It's just bad. The rest of the game is garbage, so why would this be any better? I'm legitimately angry now. I was done. I had finished writing the review. I had finished playing the game. I was finished. And then I found out that this existed. Just drags it back in. I'm done now, so Season 4 is over. You can all get the hell out of here.